So this video is going to be about synthesis and decomposition reactions. So in a synthesis reaction, two or more substances react to produce a single compound, and it can usually be represented by a general form A plus B to AB. So let's go over some types of synthesis reactions. Our first one is when we have two elements forming a binary compound. So an example would be sodium plus chloride to get you sodium chloride. Another example would have copper plus chloride to give you copper chloride. Note, we need to consider all possible products when reactions involve multivalent elements. And then another example we have is when we have carbon plus oxygen and we get carbon dioxide. And this is an oxidation synthesis. So our second type of synthesis reaction is when we have an element in a compound forming a new compound. So an example would be sulfur dioxide plus O2 would give us sulfur trioxide. Our last type of synthesis reaction is when we have two compounds forming a new compound. So an example would be a non-metal oxide reacting with water, which would give us an acid. So we have carbon dioxide plus water would give us carbonic acid. Next we have a metal oxide reacting with water, which would give us the base. So here we have sodium oxide plus water. We get sodium hydroxide. Now let's go over some decomposition reactions. So a decomposition reaction is a reaction in which a compound breaks down to two or more elements or simpler compounds. It's often the reverse of a synthesis reaction. A decomposition reaction can be represented by the following general form: AB, which equals to A plus B. So we have decomposition into two elements and decomposition to two compounds. Let's go over some metal nitrates. So metal nitrates are compounds made of more than two elements that generally don't decompose into their individual elements. An example would be sodium nitrate, which decomposes into sodium nitrate plus oxygen. So metal carbonates do generally decompose to form a metal oxide plus a carbon dioxide. So an example would be calcium oxide, which is a component of cement. It binds together the different components of cement, so water, sand, gravel together. So how does an airbag work? Well, during a crash, the slowing of the vehicle triggers a sensor in the airbag. The sensor generates an electrical impulse that ignites sodium azide, which undergoes a very rapid decomposition reaction into sodium and nitrogen. The nitrogen gas inflates the airbag. Since sodium is a very reactive metal and it's very hazardous. Also, other chemical reactions take place within the airbag to convert the sodium into compounds that are harmless and stable.